is derived from the leaves of the coca plant. When cocaine enters the body, it has a strong effect on body functions by acting as an imp on the brain. Large overdose of cocaine causes convulsions, then death. Cocaine causes unusual and often unpredictable feelings and actions. In his ignorance, Marty took that dare, little knowing the eventual horror that lay in the deadly white powder.
Marty, have you seen the painting shears I bought last week? Can't seem to find them anywhere. Marty, you don't seem right. I'm worried about you. There's something wrong. I'm going to take you down to Dr. Peters this afternoon for a checkup.
No, I'm all right.
As his body gradually built up a tolerance, he uses more and more of the drug.
Oh my goodness, here we go. We are live tonight, Sunday night, 8 p.m. It is K.I.S.S Recovery 101. Bridge Sky here. I'm so excited. I always get so excited. I love these special monthly editions because I get to have my co-host here with me. Sarah, you want to say hi?
Hello, thank you for having me tonight.
Okay, we might have to readjust the chair situation. You might want to go grab a different one. But yes, this is risky relationships. And I find this one, so tonight was my pick on the topic. And this one I find very common, especially in women in recovery. The caddy competition stuff. It's sad. And I really want to talk about the relationship. I'm so grateful that I have what I call sisters in recovery, besties, great female friends that I 100% trust. And I know they know I have their back. I believe they do that. They know that. And they have my back, and I 100% trust that. And there's always room for like authentic, real conversations. If there's ever any questioning on whatever, there's always gossip. There's always people run their mouth, whatever. But if I ever do feel uneasy about something, or I need to know, I know my sisters will be honest with me, and they'll call me out on my shit too.
Yes.
Okay. Let me read the post quick. So it's live for a reason, listeners. Maybe this is your first time listening. KISS is a fun acronym. Keep it simple, stupid. So this is going to be a fun topic, though. We're going to try to keep it simple. And really, I'm going to talk about it on terms of, we'll have our pro tips tonight from professionals. But I'm going to talk about it on the recovery level of just my own experience. And for me, just dumbing it down in the sense of what worked for me. Because I did a lot of research on this, right? There is science-based stuff on female competition. It's caveman stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But how I overcame that, especially, I have close female friends that in the past really burned me really bad, and how I was able to not just then view all females like that, right? So, okay, sorry. I'm rambling because I'm excited. So this is the 4th episode. Did you know that? This is our 4th episode on Risky Relationships.
Doesn't feel like it.
I know. It's flying by. So the real reason why women refuse to attend women's meetings. Do you notice the girls that only attend open or male dominated meetings, and they'll actually share, well, I've never gotten along with other females. I put question mark. Social media proposes that it's those low value women, or it's a catty competition. What is the facts or science behind the ladies that criticize each other rather than empathize and empower each other? What do you think of that post?
I think it's brilliant. I think it's very accurate and calls out a lot of the bullshit that we see going into the rooms as women. I know for myself personally, I grew up as the mentality like, oh, all my friends are boys. Women are stupid and I don't need to have girlfriends because they're, backstabbing, whatever. And it wasn't until I got older that I realized I needed a break from my girlfriends that I grew up with.
Mm.
But then that break quickly turned back into my confidant, my person who I went to for everything. And then it kind of reopened up that world for me, but I still see it. I still go into rooms and I hear women talk about, I just never liked women's groups, but I can do this one. Really? Because now you're just giving me the vibes that you're just being fake as fuck.
Right.
Sorry, pardon my language.
No, this is an adult rated show. So that's what's nice. Look at, okay, Facebook user. See, now she's already, this Facebook user, I'm assuming is a female, is already thinking my thing. She said, I usually only like to attend women's meetings. Bam, that was me in the beginning. Okay. I only attended women's meetings. So that's why it was really foreign and weird to me when women would come there and say, I've never been to a women's meeting before. I don't like women. I don't get along with women. I'm like, ooh, it makes me feel awkward to be a woman in this meeting right now. She already hates me. She doesn't even know me. But for me, just because I had been so burned and didn't have people that I trusted, like I only felt comfortable trusting women, at least initially. But I want to start with a clip. This is a beautiful clip that's just going to open Pandora's box. I really want to, we only have an hour, and I really want to hit some key things that I still see common. And it's not just newcomers. Let me tell you, there's plenty of females that I've been rolling with for almost a decade now. They still be acting a fool. And I know it's not, I know that, before I was thinking, well, maybe it's just certain women they don't get along with, or maybe it's, and I see that, no, they don't get along with other women, and there's a reason.
And it's not the other women.
Yeah. What do they say when you notice things, it's always other outside things, other people, it's always them to blame, when really the common denominator is yourself. Okay. So this clip, and I'll post it later too on the Facebook page and the YouTube, it's only over 2 minutes, but it's Oprah and I forget the woman's name. Oh my gosh, my speaker must be running out of battery. It's 5 reasons women betray each other. So this is part of Oprah's life class. But this clip this is going to be the full clip. It breaks up in parts, but the whole thing is great. I forget her name, but anyway, her friend's name. She's great too. She just always speaks about women empowering each other. I love her. Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh, I don't even have the right connection here. Okay, so anyway, listeners, we'll have instead of the hot seat, we're going to have the pro tips.
Yes.
I love that. And then we're going to have 3 pro tips at least. And then instead of the hot seat, and then we are going to finish it off with the beeves, which, by the way, Sarah, I think I took like 3 or 4 of them from you. Is they're hilarious, or really, there's some hard hitting ones too.
Bluetooth connected.
Okay, we are connected and initiating clip now.
All right, we're ready to learn. What are the main reasons women betray each other? Why?
Self-hatred.
Self-hatred.
Self-hatred. I see you when I refuse to see in me. And as long as I can point it out to you, I don't have to look at me. So as a result of self-hatred, we don't honor our relationships. The other thing is, because we seek external validation, we're programmed, everybody is. And when you don't treat me the way I think you should treat me, I'm gonna make it about you and I'm coming after you. But because we seek external validation and we want other people to make us feel good and look good and feel better, and when we don't get it, then we get mean.
Yes.
The other thing is, we just don't honor who we are.
This is the absolute key thing that Iyanla said about self-hatred. This is the truth. This is how you know the difference between a really successful woman and one who's just trying to be a wannabe. Because truly successful, powerful people want other people to be empowered. From the very beginning of this network, Iyanla has been my biggest supporter, and she said, I'm going to help you push this baby out. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help lift you up. Truly successful people want to lift you up because they want you to feel the light that they feel. That is the difference between those and those who are wannabes. That's how you always know.
Okay. There's a principle of success that says the way to achieve your own success is to be willing to help somebody else get it first.
Yeah.
I learned that.
Yeah.
So I want you to get it.
Yeah.
And I want to support you and bless you and give that to the universe, because if I do, I know it's going to come back to me.
Because what Whoopi Goldberg said is Celie in The Color Purple is true, because everything I even try to do to you is already done to me.
For me, mama, for me. I saw that the other day, weeping like a fool. I know The Color
And you've
Purple
seen it 29
108.
times, right?
No, at least 100.
Okay, so everything you try to do to somebody else is already done to you, whether that's a good thing lifting them up or whether it's trying to tear them down.
That's right.
We also mimic what we've seen.
Yes, and we've seen other women do it. Your older sister, your mother, your auntie, your grandma. We've seen them do it. Women who didn't know their true value, didn't honor themselves. And finally, we mimic it because we hold unrealistic expectations of you. What you going to do for me? What you going to give me? What you got? Where you going? We have unrealistic demands and expectation of one
But the
another.
main one, I think it starts with what you said in the beginning. It starts with our own self-loathing, our own
own
self-hatred.
self-hatred.
Because when you get there, if you're just working, doing your own life work,
That's right.
which is what Iyanla Fix My Life is all about. If you're doing your own life work,
You don't have time.
you don't have time to worry about the rest of the world and all the other people.
Ooh. Okay, what's it out?
All right, first of all, that's exactly what we were talking about going in, or just before this, was that internal versus external component of taking it out on those outside of yourself when it's really about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I love the concept that they were trying to get at is, in order to be empowered, you need to empower others. How funny that we are a recovery podcast, and part of the recovery program, especially like AA, is the 12th step,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
helping others.
Yes.
It's such a thing, but I think women, that's what it's about. We need to literally go out there and reach our hands out to each other, not just shut each other down
Mm-hmm.
and try to get one up on them.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's been a common theme I've found with most women in my life is it turns into a competition.
Oh yeah.
And it's a one-up situation. I will quickly walk away from those kinds of people just because I personally have, I don't know, I see it right away and I'm just like, no, I don't have time for it. I do not have time for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and what I find it as myself, okay, mentoring, right? Mentoring other ladies, okay? I'm 41 years old, Sarah, okay? I've seen a lot, experienced a lot. I've had my own issues. And when I noticed that, what I would call it out right away is, especially in recovery, especially after you've been out there for a while, making some mistakes, doing things. I did a lot of things that I wouldn't do, well, sitting here today when I love myself. And when I didn't value myself, I did a lot of things that I was ashamed about. And so it's so much easier to point out those things in other people. But when I'm working with someone new, there's just certain flags, certain things, certain ways that they talk about other people, let alone other females, that right away I'm like, ooh, she's got a lot of stuff within her that she's got to work on. But that's my moment when I'm like, I need to show her. I want to show her that there are females you can trust. One of the things I like to say to my sponsees or someone I'm working with is, I will always have your back. I will always 100%. I'm your loyal person right now. Okay. I don't care whatever females hurt you in the past. My sister burned me so bad in the past. Okay. Literally my sister growing up. I'm not going to hold that on other females. And so I'll say, like, I don't care what other people say to you. I want you to come to me. I want us and I to have this conversation. Okay.
Yes.
I want to, because no matter what, anything that you question or whatever, I will be honest and 100% truthful, even if it makes me feel uncomfortable, even if I know it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. We have to have this honest conversation, because gossip is the real deal. And that's how I can tell, there's that saying, you want to know who your real friends are, get recovery. First off, okay. A lot of those people are going to fall to the side. Second of all, you want to know who's really loyal or who's your real friend. What they say to your face, are they saying that same thing behind your back? Are they being loyal behind your back? And here's a added bonus that someone else pointed out to me too. Are they defending you behind your back? So I had a situation about 2 years ago. I really found out who my real friends, my sisters were. Because guess what? They were defending me behind when people were talking all this shit behind my back. They were the ones there saying, no, actually, you're wrong about that. I know Bridge and I know the situation or what I know of it. And what you're hearing or whatever, they would defend me when I wasn't even there. So that warmed my heart. Like these are people that I know are being genuine to my face, but they're being genuine in life.
Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna jump right in on this specific topic. So I had a girlfriend when I was younger, probably middle school. So spent a couple years friends, got into high school together. She started dating, I started dating. She had this boyfriend that got around rumors that he was abusive towards her. And after having a conversation and finding out that some of these weren't just rumors, these were facts, I confronted the boyfriend and basically called him out on his shit. And I mean, we're high school. I threatened the fucker. So like it wasn't a nice conversation. But basically I was trying to defend my friend, my girlfriend. And you know what happened?
She turned on you.
She fucking turned on me. She came after me, screaming in my face, pissed that I went after him, which at the time I didn't understand and I still struggle with. But she's so insecure. She just wanted that approval of this guy who is worthless. Just a weasel. So anyways, I don't know. And you know, it's also interesting talking about competitions and things like that. I know personally when I get into a conversation or meet somebody new that's a female and I find these little things popping up, like I don't really like them or they bother me or whatever that is. If I spend just 2 seconds going, what is it? What, you know what? I'm fucking jealous of them. They have something I want. So I turn into kind of mean about it because I'm very insecure, really.
Well, I wouldn't say you're very insecure, Sarah. Okay, let's be honest. I'll be honest. When I first met you, okay, maybe it was like second meeting or something. We were standing outside, and you're just this bubbly, outgoing person, and people are drawn to you. Seriously, I know this. We go to the stores, we just random strangers just start having deep conversations with you for whatever. You're just this light, okay. And there was like this. It was only a matter of a few seconds, right? But my brain went to, but you are just in this cute dress and you're just laughing and bubbly, and there's a circle of people around us, which normally there's not that many people around me. Okay. Maybe one or two, I'll have a conversation, but you just have a lot of people that draw to you. And in that moment, I was like, wow, I was feeling like not jealous, maybe more obvious, maybe more like, what does she have that I don't have? Comparison. What does she have that I don't have? What is it about her? And I feel like I could feel those thoughts coming in where I feel like that's just female natural instincts, which I'm going to talk about. There's science-based facts on that. But that awareness piece. So I immediately was like, oh, okay, this means I need to make her my best friend. And, because immediately, I mean, later on I processed it was because, yes, you just draw people to you. Like I had to work hard for that, Sarah. I'm an awkward human being. And sometimes, whatever, it's fine. But that was like, what, 2 or 3 years ago? 3 years ago.
Oh my God.
It's crazy.
So, I don't even know now.
Close to 3 years ago.
21?
Yeah.
So 2 years ago.
2 years ago. But yeah, it was like a split second. I caught myself, comparing. Like, how does she just get all these people? You just met all these people. I've been around this fucking Alano for how many years? And nobody, wants to be my friend. But whatever, but I took that moment to be like, you know what? No, I'm going to make her my friend. I mean, like, not in a weird way. But like, I want to be her friend.
Yeah.
And, be a part of that light. And like, we've been pretty well connected ever since. So, but I caught myself, and especially I could catch myself. I mean, it's not that common these days, but walking into a room of strangers, no, I don't really do it much, but I do remember where I'd be like, I'd scan the room. Now I scan the room to see what females are giving me the stay guy.
The evil eye.
Yeah. But that for me is like an opportunity to be like, well, hopefully I keep my eyes on people all the time. Hopefully, they'll see that I'm genuine, authentic, not trying to be nothing. And later, I don't know, not continuing me. I don't know. But that's that people pleasing instincts. I'm a retired people pleaser, but my natural instinct is I don't want anyone to hate me. I don't want anyone to think I'm mean. I don't want anyone to think I'm full of myself, because I really am genuinely here to help people, because that does fill my cup.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got another comment. Amber Love says, "True that. Love Me More, my new nonprofit in Arizona. I'm working on starting live interviews and helping the addict or homeless out of the horrors of addiction." Love that. Oh, let's get connected. If you have any questions, or if you need any help at all, trust me, I run the show pretty simply, and I got it off and running in like 4 days. So, but anyway, okay, so so I actually wrote down some stuff. Let's get right into the pro tips. Are you ready? So I know that I have specifically said you come up with one, because I don't want to always be the one knowing all. But okay, so I'm looking for the sound effect. Just instead of the fire now, Sarah, we have the. See if I got it to work.
I'm gonna buy you like a little recorder that just has them all. With the little images where you just click on it and it'll be automatic.
I would. You know what? I would. Oh, what the heck? There we go. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Pro tip number 1. And we haven't even tapped into all the things I got written down here that I want to talk about.
Okay.
Because I've really found that through my own experience, how I've been able to overcome it. And especially when I know it's hard, when I come to a female or what I thought was a friend face to face. She just show up at my meeting when I know she just called me out on Facebook or talking all this shit, comes up at my meeting, to hold myself, oh, there's a first alarm. And we are interacting. To, conduct myself in a way that I will be proud of after the fact. But of course, in my head, when this moment happened, I wanted to call her out. Like, you got some nerve to come to my favorite meeting after you know what just went down, that you put out there to however many people.
Yes.
Going after my character. And that's what sucks, is when I've let these people in, trust, and they know a lot of stuff about me, which is all I put it out there anyway.
They use it against you.
They twist it and manipulate it, and they're calling me and saying all these things that aren't accurate, and they won't have a conversation with me, but they want to show up at my meeting.
And usually, more often than not, it all stems from a misunderstanding, a miscommunication, and most likely a fucking rumor that they heard from somebody else. And instead of just confronting you face to face or calling you out saying, "Hey, I heard this," or "I was just wondering, I get these vibes or feelings. Could you clarify?"
Yeah.
Boom, 2-second conversation. Don't even have to worry about it. But instead, it turns into a personal attack.
Yes. And why? Because of fear.
Yes.
Right? Or just that uncomfortableness. But that's where I've been flourishing, is really, it's uncomfortable, but I would just go make myself be comfortable sitting in this uncomfortableness. Okay. So pro tip number 1, I'm going to go first and then I'm going to do yours. Okay. Pro tip number 1, don't give up. Bing. Oh, dang it. See, it goes into the ads. Okay. Don't give up. Find and attend multiple women's meetings. Okay. Yes, I've been to a couple that they were not very friendly. They're very cliquey.
Yes, that's a huge problem.
That is, yes. Well, that's a general. You can go to any Saturday, whatever, it's a meeting, and they just get real cliquey. They forget about the newcomer or whatever. That's supposed to be the most important person. But yeah, there's been a few female ones that I've gone to. But again, I could take away something good out of it. But attend multiple. Don't give up, okay? Just because you had one bad experience. And then again, at least if you find a meeting where it was okay, maybe you didn't like everybody. You're never going to find a meeting where you like everybody. But you were drawn to a woman there. This actually goes for men too, by the way. Maybe in general, you just don't get along with people. You don't like people, okay? But there's somebody that in that meeting, every time they share, just how they carry themselves, you look up to them, or you respect them, or there's something, what do they say, they have that you want.
Yes.
Right? For me, I really like to really not follow, but people that inspire me or motivate me, or especially challenge me in a positive way. Those are the people that I want to hang out with, right? So if you go to a women's meeting, you go to a handful of women, you don't like everybody, you're never going to like everybody. But for me, when I found my Marcy, my sponsor, I unconditionally just loved her. Like, she's just, everybody does anyway. But yes, we'd have meetings where some of the females there were just whatever. But I didn't focus on that. I focused on Marcy. I focused on that woman that I wanted her genuine sweetness and kindness and genuine caring. So, I say, don't give up. Connect, at least if you start with one woman, right? Get that trust, get that friendship, that sister, or again, it could be men too, but start there. But don't give up. Don't sit there. Here's what they do. They'll label, oh, you went to 1 or 2 women's meetings and you hate all women's meetings. Okay. Okay. So sorry, I can tell you want to say something.
I just had a brain fart now. Thanks. No,
Oh,
I'm just kidding. It's okay. Well, I feel bad because I'm like half listening to you, half getting sucked into my daughter who's trying to call me home right now, and I'm like, so I apologize. Mom life. Okay, now I remember what it was. It is so funny that you're talking about finding those people that have what you want and you search for them. Okay, I will be honest about you were like how you felt about me when you first met me, my impression of you the first time I met you. I came into recovery thinking, great, I'm already a fucking nerd and this big loser, like very self-doubting about myself, self-conscious. I walked into this room and I'm thinking, okay, now I'm going to be a sober, even bigger nerd loser because I can't drink properly like everybody else. So when I walked into this room and I saw this super fucking cool chick who's like literally just has this like bad girl vibe, like I don't know. You struck me as this person. Like I instantly was like,
you're talking about me?
Yes, I instantly was like, oh, I want what this person has. I want to be able to be cool and sober. Like that's what I was like.
Cool.
Yes.
Well, you did think I was cool.
No, I still
See,
do.
I'm a nerd too.
But you definitely you're so confident about your sobriety and where you were at and your enthusiasm. It literally, for me, I was like, oh, like that's what to you instantly.
Oh, that's so heartwarming. Sarah, you're so funny. Okay, I didn't expect that. Badass. Ooh, I like that. But yes, well, and that's what's great is I'm thankful that you met me when I really am still on this like recovery vibe. It's not sobriety for me. I don't even like the word sober. Like I'm on this recovery path, and ever since I started changing that language, it's just built this pride in me and this confidence in me, and I really got to know me as I always wanted to be per se, but now I'm just doing the things, and I finally took that time to be done with what other people thought about me, what other people said about me. No, I am this person, and I'm just going to be doing those things.
Yes. Okay. That's so funny. So for the listeners, I bought you an soberversary gift, which had some moon phases. So instead of like a 1 month sober, 1 year, or whatever, it was based on moons. I know that the number 13 is special to you.
Yes, right.
So I got your first the first new moon, because it was also a new you. Yes. So I wrote down the date and put the new moon in this little token necklace thing. And then from there, I did the 13th full moon because they're all new coming out for you.
Yeah.
And I wanted to highlight that your favorite number. It was just kind of a special moment. But then the very last one, I hope you caught, was the quote, or what I labeled it was X amount of nights or full of active, of active recovery though.
Yes. Yep.
So, and that's what I wanted to point out, because yes, you've had how many years of sobriety and recovery time, but you weren't dedicated. Yeah. Not like you are now.
It wasn't my choice.
And now you were in it for what it is. And so I just wanted to highlight that. I see it. I see you.
Yes. And real sees real. And like, I think that's where I started to cling to the women that I could feel were authentic. I feel like there's certain people right away I can feel that they're not being fully themselves. Yeah. They're hiding, reserving something. And there's no judgments. I couldn't trust anyone. I was in court shit. Like people were literally recording conversations and using, so I had to really be careful, so reservations. But once I found, like, again, to highlight that pro tip is even find that one woman, okay? That one meeting that for whatever reason, like I loved, still do women's way through the 12 steps. So Wednesday night meeting, that's how we first met actually. Yep. So even though I didn't particularly like everybody in that meeting, I loved that what we were reading in there. And once I really started to be confident in my recovery, and I found Marcy and I found those couple sisters that I really genuinely trusted, I saw that opportunity for new women coming in to show them that you can really connect and have sisters in recovery, right?
Yes.
But for me, it was a big process of really being honest with myself and really looking at myself and really thinking about my thoughts, thinking about what I'm thinking. Why am I having this insecurity? Why am I feeling uncomfortable or red flags? What's going on here? And just taking that time to sit with myself and reflect on myself. Okay, your pro tip. You ready? Oh, hold on. Go ahead, say it. I'm about to ding it.
Oh, okay. No. All right. So my pro tip is to give yourself a daily reminder.
Daily reminder. Oh my gosh. This is such a not free app. Hold on 1 second.
You're okay.
Say it again.
You tell me when you're ready. There it is. Daily reminder.
Ding. Love it.
Literally, don't just tell yourself you're going to. My concept is action, not just words.
Oh,
Don't tell
yeah.
yourself that you're going to do something and be like, oh, well, I'll just remember. No, set yourself a freaking alarm at whatever time for whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. It's an
love
active
that.
thing. It goes off and you have, like, it's physically telling you, hey, and you know what? You don't even have to do it for something that you wanted to get done or do. It doesn't have to be something daunting.
Mm-hmm.
Turn it into something good. Make it just a literal reminder, a self-fulfilling prophecy moment. Put in there, I am good enough. So that once a day, you literally get a little alarm that you are reading to yourself in your head that, hey, I am good enough.
Mm-hmm. I am worthy.
Yes, anything. But set those alarms. Use your alarm clock. That's like the best app on everybody's phone.
Speaking of which, that's the alarm for it. Okay. Ooh, I love that one. And that's something simple.
Yes.
And it can be done in a couple of minutes every day.
Yep.
To remind yourself of whatever affirmation or a mantra or, because definitely, especially when I was just in a really bad space, all the shame and guilt, I was easy to blame myself. And so, that reminding myself, hey, I've been working hard to get here, and validating myself. I don't need that outside validation.
Well, and the nice thing about setting the alarm, because you can put it for like every day of the week. So it's not like you're just turning it on the night before. You can set it so every day at this time it goes off. So even those days that you're feeling super shitty and you think the world is out to get you and it's the end of everything. And then all of a sudden in an hour, you get this random alarm that you set 2 weeks prior when you were in a really good fucking place. And it says, hey, you are awesome. What do you think that's going to do to your self-esteem and where you're at that moment? It's going to raise you just one notch in your vibration just to get you out of that.
Yes. And reminding yourself, reminding me of like that feeling. Okay. It's not always going to feel crappy right now. I know I can get back there. I was there. So let's just get back on that train.
Yep.
Love that. Oh, some more interactions. Oh, Amber Love says, yes, girl. Love me more, promotes recovery awareness as well as emotional intelligence awareness and support. Yes. Oh, I just got a book. Emotional Intelligence 2.0. Woo! That's something to talk about too, because I think a lot of people think about. Well, we won't get into that. I could ramble, but that's definitely going to be its own episode. So another Facebook user said, "So glad you are talking about friendships. Hard, right? And even when I think I know a sister, okay, definitely a sister, she ghosted me, and it broke my heart because I didn't. And I think what I finally had to do a 10 step on this shit because I immediately was blaming myself. What did I say? What did I do? I couldn't let it go. And because I didn't have an answer, I wanted an answer, but she cut me off. So I couldn't even have a conversation about it. And that's really my go-to. And here's what I would say for me for flags with friendship. Okay. We're not just talking women. Okay. Friendships. This whole show, by the way, is not just women, is things that I say to another person. Okay. I will say to that person, but we all need to vent. Okay. We all need to blatantly talk about but whatever I put there, what's the old saying? If you don't have something nice to say, don't say it at all.
Yep.
Say, okay? So even when you and I have some conversations, if I start feeling in my stomach, ooh, that was mean what I just said there, I will back up and be like, okay, now if that person heard this, how would I want to fully, explain it? Not in the heat of the moment. In the heat of the moment, I'm heated up. What would I really, what is the real?
What are you getting at?
Yeah. So does that make sense?
No, that absolutely makes sense. In fact, that's one of the things I love about you so much, because you're on this wave of self-knowledge and in self-improvement with me, which it makes it a lot easier. I know when I was a sober house manager, one of the ladies in my house would, a habit for a lot of those women would be to pull you aside and tell you about their day, or maybe try to intrigue you into a conversation of drama and like a he said she said type thing with other housemates. I made it very clear as a house manager that I would not get involved with any of those kinds of conversations. And there was one lady who was with me from the beginning, and I do have to throw out a little respect and thank her for it, is the fact that we had a little agreement, because there was a conversation we were having early on, and I literally stopped us and I said, this is getting a little negative. I said, I don't want us to turn our I don't want any of our conversations to be those that we wouldn't want somebody else, like, we should be thinking better than this.
Yeah.
And we made this little pact, and we spent the whole time that she was at that house with me doing this with me. She would literally all of a sudden in the middle of are kidding me? This person well, no, you know what? Just give me 5 minutes. I think I can re-come at this in a better light.
Yeah.
But it was just, we were able to call each other out.
Love that. And see, and here's the thing. Okay, I still haven't done it. Okay, previously on the show, I talked about one of the key things you could do is for self-reflection is to actually ask people that know you. Okay, whatever the amount of time isn't the amount of time, but you feel like know you, whatever capacity, and it recommended different, like at work or in recovery or wherever. Ask them what they really think about you. And even I'm going to the point where I'm going to have specific questions, right? And they can stay anonymous, because again, I know certain people do not want to hurt my feelings, right? But what they really view, get that outside perspective, because I will never know what you're really thinking about me, right? And I want those opportunities for any type of, that could be negative. I want to know that, because yes, I'm on this mission of self-knowledge and just obtaining to my most best of self. Yes, enlightenment. And so I need to know that. Yes, it's going to hurt. It's going to sting for a minute, right? Maybe a couple days, whatever. But it's an opportunity then to up my level of life, to, okay, this is not how I want to be seen. This is not how I want anyone to think about me. What am I doing? What can I, that moment of, that's true. So that's like reflection, is to get that outside perspective, because we are always, I could put all kinds of things in my own head of what I think I'm putting out there, but it could be misconstrued. And that's why it's important also to get those different elements of relationships, friendships. Okay. You ready? Go ahead. You had one more.
Oh, no. Go ahead. What do we got?
Okay. And then the last pro tip, and then there's a couple experiences I want to talk about, because I feel like it's important, and I want to keep this positive, because my point is, I don't care. The point is, for me, it was the moment that I finally realized I really do finally love myself. It took me almost 40 years. Okay. I didn't even know that it could happen. That I realized for me, it wasn't this like jealousy, competitive, I want your man kind of weird thing. I don't know. Or I want that job position. For me, it was a comparison.
Yes.
What's that saying? Comparison is the thief of joy. For me, it was the opposite. I never felt like I was worthy enough. I never felt like I was good enough. So for me, I would be comparing in a sense of like, not I'm trying to take something from you, but comparing in like, I'm not even close to this person.
Yes.
But I didn't value myself and I didn't love myself. So at this point now where I sit that I like myself, Sarah, I know that every single day I'm doing the best that I can do. Okay. Some days are really great. Some days not so great, but I'm trying to be that I am living my best, me that I can be, living that life worth living, right? Always just trying to do the next right thing. So when I walk into a room, I don't even care what anybody's doing at all. I never look what my previous job I had, right? Ooh, that turned into some drama. But I eventually just got to that point where I'm just going to keep doing me. I'm going to do my best work, quality work, right? I'm going to do all my trainings. Like, I've always been a person that I love the trainings. I love upping myself. Some people aren't like that, whatever. But I never compare myself. And when they started hating on me for that, I'm like, we're supposed to be a team. I'm like, what is that? And then I realized it has nothing to do with me, really. At the end of the day, whatever light or whatever I'm doing makes them feel like they're not doing enough. That's within them. You like I had there's an awesome girl there, Kelly. She's B type 10. Like I think I do a lot and I want to know a lot. This girl could do it like that and she does it amazing, right? But I didn't compare myself to her because I'm like she has that energy and she has that ability to do that, right? And that's great. And but I don't feel like yeah, that's her skill. I don't need to. I'm doing the most that I can do for me and I'm totally happy with that.
Yes.
But it took me a long time to get there because I started off never feeling enough, never feeling worthy, never feeling valued, for my child and all kinds of things. But it wasn't until addiction that I really got to those lows to the point where I hated myself. I punished myself. I shamed myself. So recovery saved my life because without recovery, I couldn't have got out of there at all. Last pro tip. You ready?
Okay.
Okay. Pro tip number 3. Oh, okay. List your insecurities. Ding! I'm not gonna play the button. It's got too many heads. Ding!
I like that one better.
Okay, list your insecurities. Now, here's the hard part. Now, I recommend there's a part B, but you got to get a mentor, a coach, or a sponsor to do that along with you. I mean, definitely start it out yourself. But here's the thing, Sarah. I was in denial. I didn't even realize I had a wall up against myself. Okay. So I'd reason out that I'm being honest. But when I really sat back and sat down with myself and really heard myself, I wasn't even being honest with myself. I was in denial. So I could admit to outside insecurities like that. But inside, it was hard for me to even clearly see, was I really being authentic? Was I really meaning for this outcome? Or was there a side outcome that I kind of saw playing out and I let that shit happen? Right?
I love this concept.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to tap in? Because I was going to say, but it's important to find that mentor, coach, or a person to do it along with you with those insecurities that you respect, that you trust, that you look up to, that you are inspired by. Because if it's somebody that you're secretly hating, they work. Okay, it's someone you got to really have genuine love for.
No, absolutely, and that's where if you can get past these coming into or putting up these walls that you're projecting, like maybe it's a women's meeting and you're not okay with women, like what we came into this topic about today or tonight. Being able to take away, put yourself out there to find somebody that you can actually open up to. The whole concept of sponsoring, the whole concept of getting somebody to, what is it in the big book? It says something about you can talk to, like, for when you do your list and when you basically go over all of your character defects or whatever the hell it is.
Step 5.
I sound terrible on this. I've gone through the steps once. That's a whole concept. Yeah. I freaking love this. Like, I actually,
another human being.
Now that you just said this, though, I literally, as we're sitting here and you're telling me this, I'm like, ooh, okay, tonight I'm going to start a list and I want to make Bridge sit down here with me and we're going to go over this shit. Like, this is a brilliant idea. And I love this. Again, another self-improvement thing and you know what, though? Yes, we started out where you were my sponsor and it blossomed into a beautiful friendship and we are now sisters. Absolutely. And I absolutely will open my heart up. Although there are a lot of insecurities that I literally come to you with, without having to do a whole list, just randomly, I'll be like, okay, I'm feeling really shitty because I just scolded my 4-month-old puppy when it wasn't her fault for something that happened. Like, and I'm feeling really shitty about myself. And that's, for me to admit that is very hard, but I have somebody that I can go to and you're like, yeah, but your day's like kind of chaotic and it's shitty. So it's understandable.
Yes.
Like,
no judgments.
Yes. And so I don't know, when you go into those rooms, don't put up those, like, even if you have those walls, put out, like, make a little crack, do something and just put your little feelers out so you can find that one person that you can open up with. And if you're not sure, you know how many girlfriends that I have I have lots of people in my life, lots. And I have lots of girlfriends that I know that I could go to and genuinely probably would be there for me. But for whatever reason, I have my own reservations. It's within myself that I have those. So I put up barriers and walls. But you know what? I have those that I could always fall back on.
Mhm.
Build up your a little support army.
A tribe. Like a tribe. Yes, and don't be in a hurry. Like it's taken me years to feel like I have you, I have Jessica, I have Andrea, I have Lindsay, I have those people with sisters that I call sisters because A, I know they're not going to judge me, okay? And B, I know that I can have a conversation with them, right? I think that's the biggest piece is communication, okay? There's still, to this day, times when I'm like, ooh, this is going to be a hard conversation. But here's a side pro tip for me. So what I do is I put myself in their shoes, okay? Especially when I'm angry about something, especially when I'm offended by something they did or said. So then I will pause. Sometimes it's, a few hours, sometimes it's a few days, sometimes it's a couple weeks, especially whatever the situation was. But I will take that time. I'll probably have another conversation with somebody else that I trust, but get out of my head and really put myself in their shoes.
Yes.
Okay, because what I learned at DBT is you do not premeditate anything. You do not predict anything. You can't read anybody else's minds. Okay? Don't make assumptions or agreements. And so, especially if you feel like you really know someone, there might be some go-to like, oh, I could see where this went to. But if I was her or him, okay?
Yep.
Where are they coming from? I want to see all those different perspectives, right? Because then I feel confident in going in. Do I have a place now that I need to apologize? Okay, because I will do that. But that used to be my go-to. I would start off with the I'm sorry. Nuh-uh. I don't do that anymore. Okay. Unless there's a genuine apology needed. I'm not gonna be fake with it. Okay. I will point out and say, so here's what happened with me. Here's why I took it this way. These actions, these things. I really stick to the facts, okay, and the real evidence. No made up stuff. And sometimes my conversation, 15 minutes morning, are real simple. They have to be simple. DBT taught me keep that shit simple because you can easily get distracted on the merry-go-round of distraction or deflection. So defensiveness. So I will sit down and at least point out where I was coming from before I give them the floor. Okay. And definitely apologize if the apology is needed. And I mean it. And then I give them that room. Now, many times, it might have been close to what I was thinking. But a lot of times, at that point, I already know. I feel like I understand their side. I really genuinely empathize with their side. So any resentments, anger, sadness, fear, all that is already lifted to that point where I can genuinely just be present in this moment, love you unconditionally. That's why I'm even having this conversation. First of all, is because I love you no matter what, right? We're a recovery family, brothers, sisters, all that. But the fact that I'm here, I want to have this conversation means I fucking love you. Okay. Otherwise, I wouldn't even waste my time with that energy, But obviously, so for me, communication is so important. And I will say, and a lot of times those conversations never happen. I'll say, I really want to have this conversation with you. I really do. I understand whatever happened. They won't even have the conversation with me. And that just makes me realize, okay, then I'm just going to leave it there. It doesn't go far. I could definitely set a boundary, but I'm not going to waste my energy and love on someone who doesn't want to give me that same, energy, love, and respect.
As we're sitting here talking, I'm picturing I am the person that is confrontational. I will call somebody out directly to their face. I realize this is also very intimidating. And I know a lot of people that are so uncomfortable. They're like, no, or they ghost and run off. Like it's so hard for them. I wonder if there's a way to get people who are intimidated or shy or scared, whatever the hell it is, to be able to be like, okay. And I think that's, you already hit on it with boundaries. Like, I'm willing to have a conversation or talk about it with these, like, lay down, like, okay, we can have a conversation. I want it to be in a public place over lunch. I don't want
no text,
no texting. I don't want there to be any raised voices. Maybe they're sensitive to yelling, like, whatever that might be intimidating them. It's people just need to be also receptive and open up. And I think sometimes those are little things that get forgotten. Like me and you are just like, let's talk. Come on. What's wrong with you? Why can't we just sit here and have a conversation?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying, speaking of putting yourself in someone else's shoes, I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of those who are not fond of conversations.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Well, and it's really hard too when they said hurtful things or attacked me or whatever. That's what I usually will take the most time is when I really feel hurt. And that's how I start the conversation with someone that I care about, by the way, is I will let my guard down. To start that conversation, I will open up, show some emotions. I don't like that because yes, I'm a hard ass and yes, I've been caught up and I've had some conflicts and I just said what I need to say for right reasons. Don't get me started on my children. You go ahead for my children, it's a different thing. But I will let that guard down and open up with, this really hurt me. Okay. That to me, I couldn't do that before. That's weakness. Okay. But I feel like now that survivor mode that I was in before is not necessary and it hindered me from having the relationships that I have now. So I was protecting myself. But now I realize that is a strength. And I started it off with, this really fucking hurt my heart.
absolutely, Bridge. And I also think the other key point with that is you're not only allowing yourself to be vulnerable and open up, you're giving yourself the other person the opportunity to say, hey, if you have any walls or defenses up, I'm telling you, I'm unarmed right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's
White
a beautiful,
flag.
yep, I
That's
think that's a
surrender.
beautiful way to start a conversation.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to give a couple of examples and I'll just run through them really quick. I hate these videos I see. Are you a low value women? Why men go after low value? What are those things? One of the videos I found interesting. First of all, it pisses me off because there's many low value men out there I see. But hold on.
Wait, sorry. I was just going to say, when you first told, I did not know about this low value thing. You just told me about this a couple days ago, and it literally grosses me out.
Right?
It is the most disgusting thing I've heard about in a very long time.
Yes. Okay, here's a shocking thing. I couldn't find any it was really hard to find any like professional stuff, but it was just too clinicky for me to like vibe off of. But there was a ton of females saying this is why I have no female friends. Because they're jealous, they're this, they're that. And I'm like, I'm just listening to them and looking at them like, but that's what you are right now.
Yes!
That's what you're giving me the vibe of. So, but the thing is, okay, so the low value thing. Okay, so really what at the end of the day, it just comes down to what for me, I would never say, oh, that's a low value person. I would say, oh, there's something inside them that they need my empowerment. They need support.
Yes.
They need love. They always say the people that are the most unlovable are the ones that need the most love.
Absolutely.
Right? So women that are whatever this, doing that, people I've judged now, for me, my heart opens up and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be their person. I'm gonna give a reason because what I see is they don't love themselves yet. All the way, whatever. They think they do, but in denial. I was in denial. Okay. Now here's the thing. I wanted to get into science things before we had the show because
Yes.
here's the caveman thing. Okay, there's this great, okay, go on the Discovery Channel. Okay, it's like almost 2 hours. I watched this like years ago. I had to rewatch it because there's still things that stuck out from that documentary that is amazing and science facts. Okay, they did great. This is a great documentary. Go check it out. It's like the science. It's a documentary based on human sexual attraction or just attraction. Okay? They did all kinds of like face analyze, smells, just our natural instincts. Okay,
It's all based on yourself.
it's so cool. Okay, so here's the thing with females. No, here's what it is.
Okay.
This goes sound nerdy and scientific, but it makes sense. Okay. And this is the point where you can know that you've grown out of that. Okay. But this makes sense of why it's enrooted in us as females. We make 1 egg a month to make babies. This is caveman shit, right?
Okay.
We produce 1 egg, which means that egg is a lot of work in 1 month, right? So that's why it's in our instincts to be very particular about who our partner is going to be, let alone the female competition part is that's my male partner that I want right there. And I'm going to make sure it's a competition thing.
Yeah.
Nobody else is going to take that partner for my 1 egg. Now, men, on the other hand, produce billions and billions of spermies, right?
Yeah.
One little thing, one little episode, right?
Yeah.
That's why they're willing to just go sprue their seed all over the place. They don't think like females. They never had to, okay?
This is brilliant. Yes.
But it makes sense. So,
Yeah.
like, even like, okay, I'm not like putting my daughter on blast, but she's 12, about to be, she's getting to that
Yeah.
age. And oh my God, don't get me started on the fucking shit that's out there now. I hate TikTok and all that stuff. Okay. First of all, she's beautiful. She's outgoing. She's smart, too smart in a good way. she possesses all these things, but what she sees, social media, amongst her, what she calls friends, I'm not trying to lecture her, but I do try to point out things. Um, but at the end of the day, it makes sense for our young people. We haven't understood that it's all within us, right? Okay, so the one egg thing. Here's what's funny. Okay, so what Oprah and I can't remember her name, we're really pointing out is it is in our instinct. Oh, especially the work world. Okay, don't get me started.
Oh,
I've always hated it. I was always hated on the work world. But what I find, okay, I'm trying to bring this all 180 here, is I could feel when the caveman instinct comes out at work, okay, when I had my other job.
Yeah.
But I immediately brush it aside with, um, first of all, that's them. The 4 agreements, by the way, also changed my life. Okay. I'm not going to take anything personal. Anything anybody's projecting or hating on me or competing with me is just within them. Okay. And if I am taking it personally, okay, what's going on with me? What am I really insecure about? Okay, I'll be honest, at work, I'll be showing up late. Okay, I have 5 kids. Some days I had to call in, whatever. That's when it got petty. Is the other people are pointing out, well, how come she gets to be late? How come she's missing days? Okay, so you can tell when I get heated up because I'm rambling and I'm talking quicker and lower.
Well,
Okay,
you're already
they're
insecure
pointing
now.
out the little BS bullshit, because at the end of the day, first of all, our job is supporting our peers, saving the fucking lives is where I looked at it. Okay,
Yes.
the bigger picture. For me, I'm only looking at the bigger picture. And so I saw the pettiness when they're pointing out, oh, she's late. She's not answering her phone. These little things. Why? Because they knew, oh, I'm a certified this. I'm a certified that. I know how to do naloxone overdose trainings. I was building my knowledge up. I was taking advantage of all the free training and all that while I was there.
Yes.
So I realized they were, trying to bring me down. And literally going into the boss's office is so annoying. When I'm 4 years old, and even my boss was like, I'm sorry, I have to call you out on this. He's like, I get what's going on here, but because it's been pointed out multiple times by these other females, we wouldn't name names, but we both knew who it was. He had to address it. It's shitty. And that's why I'm independently contracted right now, right? Because now I can just focus on my work. I don't have to deal with the micromanaging thing, and I can really enjoy what I do. But it sucked because one in particular, she's a beautiful woman. Okay. She also has, well, I thought originally she seemed confident. She's very outgoing. She's more, she will say what's on her mind. However, I later learned she's a gossiper. She's talking shit. So every time she's talking shit about other people to me, I can't imagine what she was saying. And I realized at the end of the day, she was very insecure. Totally the opposite of what she originally, everyone, I even perceived her as. And it just made me sad. And I did try to have conversations. I did try to have compassion. And I even was, okay, at the end of the day, as a person, I could see her. I actually was willing to give her money, Sarah. Like, my broke ass was willing to not even pay my rent to make sure she made her rent, because at the end of the day, I could go to sleep at night knowing my intentions are good. Even if I know she could get there if she wants to. Right now, I know she was talking shit. I don't care though. I don't want her to lose her house. I'm willing to lose my house. So it killed me that, yeah, now I don't miss working there at all, because I don't miss that toxic environment, right?
Yeah, exactly. And just like going into the rooms of AA or any kind of programming or whatever it is, going to freaking school.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned your daughter. So I can't even put myself in a teenager's shoes right now, this day and age, going to school and competing with not only the live competition, but the false advertisement of TikTok and Google or whatever the hell is out there. Either way, it sounds exhausting. I don't have the time for it. And also, I just wish people would learn. Like you brought up the click thing with the girls at the work. Like they were insecure, so they started the gossip thing. I have always had a hard time with gossiping. I like to joke around and tease and make do like the people watching, like you go to the state fair and be like, ooh, look at that person, and like whatever. Okay, for fun's whatever, in the moment type stuff. When I'm having a conversation about another person, this is my go-to, and this is again why I brought this up with the lady at the house when I was managing. Because whatever I'm saying, have I had this conversation or told this person that I'm talking about what I am sharing with somebody else, because whatever I'm sharing is going to get to that other person.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you think, no, there's no way. Every time, if every person remembered or knew that every time they open their freaking mouth, that what they're spewing out will get to that other person
Mhm.
every time.
Mhm.
And you know what's the worst part about it? It's
Going through other people.
I was gonna say, it's the telephone game.
Oh yeah.
What you're saying is now going to come back tenfold, something way misconstrued, and now you have to start explaining yourself, and then you go from potentially having a female friend to now having a enemy or somebody that you're scared of, or whatever the consequence is, because you didn't want to just say something because you were caught up in the moment of gossiping and trying to impress another female by taking down a different female.
Uh-huh. Okay, here's the best part. These low value women videos, right? There was actually a couple good ones. I'll point that out. There was some, and it didn't have enough time to like share them. But here's what's funny: guys are posting on this shit. Here's what's the best part: they can actually clearly see when a female. There's things that they see that I didn't even like recognize. Well, they labeled it. So when females are gossiping about each other, they know what they're doing. They right away are going, "This female's insecure. She talking shit about another female, and I know why." So low value men will continue those relationships with those low value women. They thrive on it, right? Because they think they're higher value. The fact is, no, they're right down low with them, first of all. But here's what's happening. One story that came to mind, and I'll try to make it really quick. We're already at 9:00.
I know.
We'll zip through the memes. We'll zip through the memes. You pretty much know half of them anyway. There was a situation. Oh, okay. A friend. I always had my reservations a little bit about her, but for the most part, I feel like her heart is true. However, recovery in and out lately, been in and out. Okay. I love how you point out you can have flags with people. They don't have to be red right away. You could just have flags. Okay. So her and I shared a relationship with my boyfriend. Okay. We're all friends. Then we started dating. Okay. This happens a lot, especially in relationships. That's where you really find out. I have weirdo and I have these feelings and these energies, but I never like hold them as true. I feel like, oh, it's probably just me being insecure for whatever reason. There's a little weird, whatever.
Don't want to make an assumption.
Don't ever make it. So here's what DBW also is like. I really believe, and I really have to work at this sometimes, is I really believe people are being the best that they can be in their capacity. Okay. So I'm not giving a bunch of like high levels to people. Okay. But I want to believe, especially with this friend, that in her moment in her life, she is trying to be the best version of herself. Okay. Giving her that credit. However, it's really okay. First of all, I saw that there was going to be a line. Okay. And I gave her the opportunity. I said, I value our friendship, but you also have this friendship with this person. And because of the situation, there's legal shit involved here. I will not be hurt if you support him because he actually really needs it. He fell off the recovery. I did not. Yes. So I wasn't hurt that she was like, okay, I'll do that. What I was hurt by was she did not respect my fucking line because then she still kept trying to be friends with me. Meanwhile, I know she's having this friendship with him. Okay. So I still trying to be the better person and recovery. That's where it gets complicated in recovery is I know we're all fighting our own battles. So I would still let her be whatever, have weird relationships with all my other friends as people she didn't know. It got really weird. Okay. Recently though, however, I don't know where she's at in her recovery, so I'm not making no presumptions. Okay. She just started really acting out of character and she put out something to social media. Okay. I don't even look at social media that much. When I post, I look, maybe when I'm looking for memes, but I don't follow it at all. So people follow everybody's shit. And I don't know how they know all this stuff, but they do. All of a sudden, I'm getting all these calls and texts and concern. And I'm like, what? They're like, this person said these things about you. And it's on social media right now. I'm like, oh, okay, block and whatever. You guys know, like, it is what it is. I later found, I really got to see like who kind of was like, okay, you need to take this off Facebook. And we don't bridge and you're full of shit. Some people were like supportive of her too, which I'm like is good. But again, out of nowhere, I hadn't even talked to her. She was just upset that I had to set a clearer boundary, which I love this book of boundaries there's 3 different boundaries that you can set with people.
Yeah.
And what level it's at is on them, red, yellow, or green. But I gave her the benefit of the doubt and I reached out to her and I said, okay, I can't remember specifics, and I never keep texts, but I said something along the lines of, I've never had any kind of outside conversations about you. I don't do that. I don't have time to do that anyway, and that's not my jam. But anything that you want to have a conversation about, let's do that, right? Because I know you from treatment. Okay, I thought we had this deeper connection. We both. Anyway, I got paragraphs on attack mode, which I knew I had to then leave it there because she just riled up. But what bothered me was, and now it doesn't bother me, but in the moment I took it, it bothered me because she said she went on his side out of nowhere. First of all, I was just addressing her and I. Out of nowhere, she calls me out and she said, well, you took advantage of him. And I was like, what the fuck? First of all, it had been over a year since whatever boundary I initially set. Second of all this time she's been on his side. Did she not forget that you're on one side, you're hearing one side, and whatever she just spewed to me, I'm like, I got no opportunities for any sides. So I had to sit for a minute and I responded with just evidence based facts. And I said, well, this is why I really wanted to bring this up because you've already talked about it tonight. How it really sucks when your female friends go to the dude's side, even though this happened to me multiple times. Cousin, I've had family members where I'm like backing them up and they turn on me.
Yes.
She turned on me though, and she goes, "You took advantage of him." So I waited at least an hour, but I had to make this point because I guess she forgot. And I pointed out, do you not remember that you two had more time in recovery than I did? I was the new person before you two. Ain't nobody, if anybody took advantage of anybody, And I said, but I made a point to say, but what breaks my heart is that females will do this. You will go on attack mode. We blame each other. I don't even like saying we. Okay. It's those girls that go after each other instead of what the main source of the problem is.
Yes.
So my first go-to now, whenever it comes to dudes, relationships, and friend relationships, is I want to understand my lady side first. Okay. Because I am a woman. I need to understand her side first. But I'm not male hating either, by the way, because there's plenty of guy friends I have that I could totally see their side. The other chick is crazy, okay? But I pointed out it's really sad, and this is the problem, especially in our meetings and especially in this little community of recovery over here in Minnesota, is that you aligned with him, and in the year or whatever, we haven't really talked. You have not had any conversation with me. You think I took advantage of him? Did I had to remind her that I was the new person. You two had more whatever. So that's when she finally backed off. But by then I was already done with it. But she was like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, by then, first of all, it was like 2 seconds. I'm sorry. But it was validating in the sense I've got to point out, like, you forgot where we started. And it made me feel sick inside because I felt like, again, my recovery, my light, my energy threatens people. And that's what I need to eat some humble pie. That is not my intention. But for the first time in 41 fucking years, Sarah, I'm proud to be in recovery. I'm proud to be who I am. And I don't want to have to hide that. I want to be loud and proud. And I was never that person that loved myself, that didn't have to hide, didn't have to lie, didn't even know myself. So I'm not going to hinder that. And whatever happened between him and her and their own recovery is them. That's not me. Don't break me down. And that's what I've set aside a lot of friendships, quote unquote friendships, family relationships, because they always wanted to bring me down to their fucking level.
Yes.
I'm not trying to say that to sound like an asshole, but as soon as I did something well, they would point out why either they've already done that better or they know someone who's done it better, or, oh, well, did you forget about why you suck? And bring me back down to this peg.
You know, that's really funny that you just said that because part of my throat thing. So
Get it out.
I know, sorry. No, I literally just had this conversation with a very close friend of mine, and we were talking about family relationships, and I have a sibling who, quote, said she needs to be taken down a peg.
Wow.
To my mother when confronted why she was attacking me while I was fucking pregnant. And going after me for... Oh, no, sorry. I'm confused on the timeline. It was after I had my daughter and she was a toddler and some shit went down with my family, significant other and my child.
She literally said, "Take down a peg."
My mom said, you know, what is your problem? Why can't you just let her figure this out? And she goes, she needs to be taken down a peg.
And she thinks she's the person to do that?
And who the fuck ever said I even was? Why am I on a peg?
She's built the peg thing. What the hell?
Where did this peg thing come from?
Mhm.
How did this hierarchy start? Like, this is where I started to understand, especially in the last couple of years, where they're at, where I'm at, and where that vibrational frequency level thing is. Okay, she might be on a peg, but that motherfucking peg, you know what? Yeah, I am a way higher fucking peg than you, because you know why? I don't even fucking put people on pegs. God damn it. Who the fuck does that?
That's a weird analogy. Yes. Who made that up?
But literally, it's just this fucking mean, nasty competition thing that it's very hard for me to swallow when people. I'm just so at this point in my life now, if you don't want to have a deep, meaningful conversation, or you can't even give me the time to, just dabble in it, like, you're so shallow, I literally don't want you even around me.
Right.
I will literally walk away and have nothing to do with that person. And you know what? Everybody's on their own little thing, different timelines. They just haven't elevated to the point where they have opened up yet. So you know what? It's not our jobs to fucking open them up either. We can plant a seed. I sent you a little thing. But you know what? From there, no. Find your people. I got you. You and I are on the same frequency right now. We're way up here. And you know what? I'll stay up on my fucking pig now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep. Swing from it. Okay. And so to wrap it up, I would say just surround yourself with those females, male, whatever, people that celebrate you, that are dream chasers. Okay. Remember when we first met, I talked about dream killers? Like, I don't even associate with dream killers. Okay. You have an idea, you have a dream, you have a goal. I'm going to be there to celebrate that idea, that I'm going to be there to, empower that goal. Even if my first instinct's like, ooh, I don't know if I want to go, I would go all there. You know what? We're going to do this however you want to do it. Like, I just love people that even have dreams, just chasing those dreams. Don't kill a dream. There's always negative Nancy's that right away got something negative to say about your idea or your dream, right? So I now in my inner circle for sure have those women, my sisters, that always make me feel light, especially when I have a bad day.
Yes.
But also I know when they need more light. We got a good energy, but celebrate me and make more, embrace me and love me unconditionally, not judgmentally, but keep those people that, why waste so much time and life and energy on people that you don't feel good around ever?
Absolutely. And just to make a full circle here, I think a really big key takeaway from tonight's conversation is that concept. If you find yourself ranting and raving, gossiping, spreading rumors, saying things about somebody else, and or whatever, preaching that I hate other females, and you make it such a point to announce these things, I think that's a huge that is a literally huge red flag within yourself to say, hey, I need to step back and take a minute to see what is it within myself that's causing me to feel this way. Because you know what? At the end of the day, it's all about you, yourself, how you're the one who's laying down at night to think about how the day went, and nobody else is going to give a shit about. Everybody's doing the same thing. They're all thinking about themselves when they lay down at night. Like, they don't give a shit about what the fuck you said or did, So anyways, that's all.
Oh, fine. Okay, that's the one thing in this whole conversation I've been trying to keep remembering. Sarah, I have a twin, my brother. I grew up around guys. I've always been able to right away feel comfortable and get along with guys. That's what I've been a tomboy forever. It's embarrassing now. I finally found my feminine side. But here's the thing. That's another reason I'll hear is, well, girls are drama and I just get along with guys better. I can't get along with girls.
Men are so much more dramatic.
Oh my God. High five. Seriously. I find especially nowadays, dudes are more dramatic.
Sorry, guys.
Yes, and gossiping. Seriously. So that has nothing to do with male or female. But when the females are like, well, I just can't, I've never been able to get along with females. That's right away. If you say that to this day, right now, you're saying that, that's a key to say, flip that script, flip that switch and say, no, I'm going to make a point to get along with females. Because let me tell you, there's females like me, you and Sarah and Lizzie. We really want more girlfriends. I really want more sisters. I want this female tribe to be dominating the males. No, just kidding. I'm kidding. But seriously, like, we're so much stronger when we're united and together, right? Dudes, they don't have no problem doing their thing, and they've always had that dominant whatever stupidness. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that, but it's naturally
Self-check moment.
self-check. I didn't mean to say that. I was thinking about a lot of males that have this.
Spew it out.
Yeah, this pride.
Take a
I'm like, for what? But anyway, no. But no, like I was that. I was a top. I look like okay. There's pictures you'll never see because it's playing sports. It's just, you know. But it wasn't. I was not going around saying, "Well, I've never been able to get along with females," or "I just get along with guys better." I've never said that. I've always wanted. I knew I wasn't making an attention because female pretty girls intimidated me. These confident girls wearing dresses. I just felt intimidated by, but I didn't make a point to say, well, I can't get along with them. Like I knew it would take, and it's taken a lot of time to be like, no, I'm going to make a point to get along with them. I started working at Dots Women's Clothing Store. That's when I really learned to got to flourish as a female.
Yes.
And really got to see, oh, girls like me too. Like I could be one of them, but I've never, and still to this day, yes, I've been to meetings where it's that one female. And as soon as she says that, I mean, like, oh, come on, I could be your friend. I've actually gone up to open meetings, and there was like sometimes me and another girl's the only girl in that meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually got up to a female after that meeting and reached out and said, hey, here's my number, blah, blah, and been rejected. Like, get away from me. Like, I don't want your number. I don't want to talk to you. So, like, you can't win. But again, don't give up. Go to other meetings.
That's the key concept too.
Yes, and don't make it about it's all women. Okay, there's plenty, and I made a point in the post to say girl versus woman.
Oh,
you ready for the bees?
Yes.
Whoa! I knew this was gonna run over. Oh, we got more. Let's see. Oh, Audrey's on. Hi, Audrey. Oh, I love her. She said, "Thanks for the topic. Women need to have each other's back. Yes, and need to validate each other. Right?
Yes.
See, I love when girls get dressed up. And I hate when guys are like, oh, because she's dressing a certain way, she does it. Actually, it's the opposite. And, it's how you carry yourself. And if you're judging some other people, we're human, we're going to judge, right? But if you're going into negative town, down that downward spiral, look at yourself. Look at the mirror. I know for sure, especially, well, Sarah, we're coming out of winter. Summer's coming quick. I'm checking myself. I'm out of shape. Shoveling, I am really out of shape. So I'm not going around, but I definitely was looking at some women that are like pumping weights, right? Because I'm like, man, I need to get toned. I need to build up my stuff, but I'm not trying to hate on them. I'm just like, cool, challenge accepted.
Yes.
We're going down that train. Okay. Meme time. We're going to blast through these. You ready?
Yep.
I'm so excited. Okay. And they're short and sweet. I think I kept lowest number. Okay. Meme number one. I know everybody's seen this, especially if you're from Minnesota.
Yes.
Go ahead and describe it and read it.
It's literally the picture of the dude with the hands on his hips, and he's kind of pissy looking. And it's the same picture for all three quotes. And it just says, Minnesotans when the snowstorm misses them. Minnesotans when the snowstorm hits them, but doesn't give them enough snow. And then Minnesotans when the snowstorm hits them and gives them too much snow. And that is so, nobody is. No, that's exactly what it is. Well, I thought we were going to get 2 feet of snow, and I only got 2 inches. Okay, why are you complaining?
Yes. And it totally matters, like, in where we're at in the season, too. But literally, I was him initially, because I'm like, where's this big storm at? Blah, blah, And it wasn't until after, like, whatever, it's day 2 or day 3, I'm like, okay, that was a decent amount.
Now I know too much.
Okay. Could never be happy. Okay, this one's funny. Have you seen this?
Yes.
So describe
Did I
the
send this
picture.
to you?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Okay, describe the picture, read it.
All right, it's just a table of folks sitting around this round table holding hands. It says Zoom meetings are just modern seances. There's someone who wants, these are in quotes, by the way. There's someone who wants to join us. Elizabeth, are you there? We can't hear you. Can you hear us? So accurate.
Yes, especially in any virtual meetings.
Yes.
There's always connection things or the cameras on or off. Yes.
K Verizon.
Just words.
I mind my business, but I do pay attention. That is a quote to live by.
Mm-hmm. And I think you and I are similar in the sense of we are outgoing and we can be extroverts. However, definitely walking into a room where I don't know anybody, I'm going to be quiet for a minute
Yep.
I'm listening. I'm paying attention.
Observing.
I definitely mind my own business, but I am analyzing, and I think it's more of a safety thing for me. Like, I just like to know where my doors are at, who's looking, not looking. I'm listening to conversations. I got that peripheral thing on lock.
Yes.
So I will mind my business, but I am remembering everything. I'm looking at your body language.
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Energy takers and energy givers. Let's do the energy takers. Sugar. Working currently on kicking this. What an awful thing. People pleasing, fear and doubt, sitting all day overthinking, worrying, dehydration, living on autopilot, junk food, the news, resentment, gossip, clutter, hate. I feel like we just hit like half of these in our conversation
Yes.
tonight. And then the other half is energy givers, sunlight, being authentic, positive self-talk, movement, living in the moment, deep breathing, filtered water. What the
Dehydration. It could just be water.
I was gonna say, can it just be water? Living mindfully, nutritious food, music, acceptance, friends, minimalism, and love.
And here's the thing. I could definitely look for both of them. Okay.
Let me minimalize that list by just saying water instead of filtered water.
Yes, that was weird. But I like how it has the batteries. And here's what's great is, you know what? When I'm in that energy taker and that battery's low, I can exactly grab out which ones, junk food, dehydration, overthinking, worrying, that's where that's coming from, fear. Okay. And when I'm at my full capacity, yeah, a lot of those things align. And there was one point that stood out, but maybe it'll come out later. I can't think of it. We're just going to keep jumping. Here we go. Next one.
Okay.
Oh, you sent me this. It's the tag on the clothes of a shirt or something.
Oh my God, I love this. Okay, so, on the inside of a shirt, normally down on the side, there's a little tag that explains how to wash it. And this tag says, flip inside out and hand wash cold water so you don't ruin it like everything else in your life.
Oh my gosh. And that's just, when you said that to me, I'm like, is this real? I want to know where you got this shirt because I'm getting one. That's a great dark sense of humor. Okay, next meme. We're halfway through. Okay, this is just a dad joke one. It's cute.
Good, I like those. What did the buffalo say to his son at school drop off? I could have actually answered this one without even seeing it, but it says bison.
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 And it's the two buffaloes. It's the two buffaloes. It's cute.
It is.
Oh, yes. This was from that Tipping the Pain Scale documentary.
Interesting. Okay. There, just some words. There comes a point where we need to stop just pulling people out of the river. We need to go upstream and find out why they're falling in. That's kind of like how we were talking tonight about we're on this kick, like, why are we still working on this low energy or just help like pulling people out? We should be, let's move ourselves up. Let's go figure out why this is happening. Let's go take care of it from a higher perspective.
And that's what we do on our Monday nights meeting. We just got this great book. We're reading all through together about boundaries, and it's so awesome.
And all the
to
women
hear
are super excited.
Yes, and we're not bashing, and we're all, it's great because we can all connect and hear each other's perspectives. Because there's things I've heard of that I didn't even think about within myself. But Desmond Tutu, what I love about this too is, I feel like, especially in those great meetings, like instead of there's never, in pure support, there's never any point in calling somebody out on their bullshit. Okay, there's no point on ever being brutally honest, right? That's just cruel. There's no point to that. What I learned in my training and motivational interviewing is just asking questions first off, because I don't know your story. I'll never know all your story of what's going on with you or what happened, but asking those key questions, because the key is for me, and how it finally started to work was Marcy would say some things, right? She'd never make me feel attacked. She would never say anything that I felt offended by or whatever, like she was judging me. But she would definitely ask questions that planted a seed that made me question something. Think about, wait, why did she say that? Because it'd be in defense mode. I'm like, oh no, that's not true. But then I'd be like, well, is that true? Taking that time. I feel like with this quote for me is that's what I struggle with a lot of the 12-step meetings is I want to call everybody out. I get those, see, like you, Sarah, and like my sisters, the ones that I trust and love and know that's mutual. I do want you, to call me out in a nice way. I know you're not going to try to
And vice
hurt me.
versa.
It's not going to be mean.
But that's our personalities also.
Yes.
That's hard to have to remember that there are
Address
a lot of
it.
folks that cannot.
Don't have that
Yes.
ability. And then you just don't say nothing. Okay? Like, seriously, like, do more damage control. But yes, so I like to, especially with that meeting and any kind of work or facilitating that I'm doing, I'm trying to get them to have that awareness that I have now, that it is within me. And where did it stem from? Because I'm trying to break the cycle, like even with my children. Okay.
Yeah.
I could right some of my own wrongs with how I was addressed, how I used to address it, and where I could just kind of, instead of being Mom Bill, Mom Godzilla's attack him, like, don't you see how this, whatever. Anyway, but let's go 2 more. Oh, again, more just words and a beautiful landscape.
Okay. You will be too much for some people. Those aren't your people. Literally what we just talked about.
Beautiful. Yep.
Yes.
Final. Yours.
Yes, I do love this so much. If you want to know who your tribe is, speak your truth and see who sticks around. Those are your people.
Yes. And that's the truth at the end of the day. If I have to work too hard to make this friendship work, I'm not going to do it. It's not that I don't care about you.
It's not real.
Yeah, it's not that I don't care about you, but if you're not going to meet me where I'm at, we're going to meet each other together here. Yeah, I'm not going to set myself up for, failure. I don't know. How would I describe that? But yeah, any final thoughts? We are done. We are over the limit.
I know. I feel so bad. I feel like we just kind of kept running with it.
Oh, and I could go on and on and on. Gosh, there's this one, I know it's going to hit me. I've thought about it a couple times, but it'll come back to me after we leave and after I hit stop. But there was one key point that I feel like comes up over and over again. But you know what? I'll just post. I'll comment about it later. But thank you so much, Sarah.
Oh my God, thanks for having me.
I feel like we really haven't. I feel like we scratched the surface. I feel like the pro tips are pretty reasonable. And again, with the pro tips, I'm trying to make them so that for me, I was such a lost cause. A lot of people really didn't think I was going to make it. I didn't even think I was going to make it. So I really had to break it down and make it so that I could do it, first of all, and that at some part of me believed it or believed it was possible. Mm-hmm. And yes, I have been burned over and over again by females, by males too. Thank you very much.
Yes.
But it hurts more when it comes from a sister, a female friend, because I am that person that when I'm in any kind of relationship, friendship, whatever, I'm authentic. I'm showing up. I'm giving you my all, like authentically, like I just nowadays, especially give you all my trust and I expect that back. So when you slap me in the face or do something like, but I know that is that person. I don't carry that along with me. And even when I get those vibes from so-and-so or whatever, I make a point not to bring that baggage from the past. Okay. But I can put a flag there. And then later a boundary and then another boundary. And now that shit is blocked. But it doesn't make me say that there's not a possibility that might come later. That might be that we can maybe go back to yellow boundary or whatever color.
You're at where you're
but I gotta keep my cup full and myself safe too. Yes. Before I can love, authentically anyone else. I gotta love myself. So okay, I'm done rambling. Thanks everybody. Oh, I should make sure there's any more comments. Message me about Monday meeting info, please. I will. Yes, it's a hybrid meeting, by the way.
Yes.
So, okay, everybody have a great week. I hope we didn't offend anybody. I hope we hit all the points. But please comment later. I'm going to read all the comments. And I know there's something I'm forgetting, but I will comment about it later. Yes. I love you guys. And have a great week. And, music. I always forget the music. I love the end music. It's a wrap. It's a final wrap. And I need some water. I'm dehydrated. I'm on this energy taker right now. Water. Here we go.